don't have a specialty in anything.
Okay.
Why I say so is just that some people will tell you I can do Benz, I can do a Mercedes, I cannot fix Toyota. Some people will tell you I can do Land Rover, I cannot do BM. But with the research I have gotten, with the research I have made so far and the knowledge I have gotten so far, there is no difference between the mode of operation of Mercedes and the Toyota. Even Land Rover, we only have little software in it. The only thing I see difference, they will tell you, okay, how many cylinders does it carry? Some will be 4 plug, some will be V6, and some will be V8. Believe you me, they still have the same process because it is spark we need for every vehicle. It's still mixture of spark and 4. So that is it. I've come to this level that I want to tell engineers that you shouldn't have specialty. If you have specialty, that means you will not do some job. These vehicles are the same drivetrain. We have a 4-wheel drive, we have all-wheel drive, we have rear-wheel drive, and we have 4-wheel drive. What you need to get is what drive is that vehicle you want to work on. It's a rear-wheel drive. Okay, now, where am I concentrating on? We shouldn't have specialty. If you have specialty, you'll not be able to do jobs. That means you always want to work on only that specialty. It will limit you because as we are going, technology is increasing. So we have look at most of the Mercedes, we have these GPR valves. It's a vacuum inside the car on the engine. Why some cars don't carry it? So what you'll be on a lookout is, what brand is that car? What model is it? Once you know the model of the car, Google has helped us. Okay, then we have diagnosing tools. What you need to do is diagnose that car and know where the fault is, then you fix it. So there's no specialty in this job. If you are being like you want to have a special car you deal with, believe you me, you cannot move forward. This job, it's challenging. And the more you are eating higher tax, the better you become. Do you know you learn from the difficult part of this job? But when you are specializing in just one particular thing, you will not move. You just stay within your tent. You will not spread your wings. And this job is beyond one specification of a car. As different models of cars are coming every day, they are coming with different little things. Look at Corolla 2010. The difference between 010 and 08 is the light aspects in the car handle. That is the difference. But if I say because it's a new model, I don't want to work with it, you will not move. Look at LR2. The difference between LR2 and LR2 and LR2. When you check the LR2 and you check the latest Land Rover now, it's just a different. They can just look at it that it's just upgrade. When you see the drivetrain of every car now, look at that. Is this latest car? I want to remember this car. It's not Elisa. GAC just did. When you go to that vehicle, inside the vehicle, there's this thing we call in the drivetrain. When you see there, you see two. That's why we have the wheels. If you are with the permanent 4-wheel drive, you will see 2H, 2L. That means on 2 high and 2 low. That means what? When you're in an hilly place, it tells you that since it's a permanent drive, the 4 legs can move at a time. But when it's temporary 4-wheel drive, when we have just 4-wheel drive, that means what? 2 can engage, 2 can engage. Is that the rear and the front can engage? It depends on where you are. So inside this car, you just need to press the button. If you are in a hilly place and you want to move, or you are in a kind of a muddy environment, you want to move, what you need to check is your balancing. Now, this vehicle is a 4-wheel drive. And it's not a permanent 4-wheel drive. Do I need the rear to drag me forward, or do I need the front wheel drive to drag me forward? You just need to press that key, that button on that car. You can see technology. I was in a car. I think that I was in one latest Mercedes Benz. I was looking for park. I couldn't even see it at the handles. Do you know that it was on the steering? So tell me, if I now specialize on one kind of brand, will I work? I will not move. So this job keeps pushing you because scientists are working. Technologists are developing comfort for everyone. Vehicle is comfortable. So they are looking for every means whereby this vehicle will make you seek comfort. You don't need to stress yourself. I could recall when I was learning how to drive, I was being taught from manual. It was not easy. Each time I feel pain in my chest when I was learning that manual. But the first time I was allowed to drive an automatic, gosh, it was just like, wow, life is so easy like this. So that is in this industry, I'm coming in to tell people that you don't need to be a specialist of a particular thing. Okay. Maintenance advice. Let's say, for instance, that you brought, what we do is when you bring your vehicles for loop service, at that point when we are doing loop service for you, we are going to do what we call tune-up. Tune-up is for us to check other things that need to be done in the next time you want to fix your car. And if you are financially buoyant, you want to fix that particular thing we dictated, you quickly do it. So what we do is, as a CEO to any of your clients you want to talk to, the best thing of every car is, the first thing you need to know as an owner is, what kind of lubricants will you get for your car? Is it a synthetic? When you interview some people, they'll tell you, when you meet some car owner, they tell you, I don't even know the kind of oil I use for my car. Know your oil specification. That's number one. When you use the right specification of oil based on the manufacturer's specification, it keeps your engine running well. It's just like, let's say, for instance, that I was coming from a village, I drink stream water, and I came to Lagos. You now offered me table water. You know it's going to react. I'm going to react to that water. The same thing happens to our vehicles. The maintenance advice I give to clients is, first of all, know the oil specification. Most cars, they write it on that can. Once you give your car the right specification of oil for the lubrication, that's for lube service, your engine will run well, and you, the driver, you, the owner of the car, will be relaxed. Most of what causes some vehicles parking up on time is getting the wrong specification of your oil. Because at times, this oil might be expensive. Do you understand? So that's why I used to advise clients, it's just that get a vehicle that you can maintain. It's not about getting it big, but get a vehicle that you can maintain. Once you're able to maintain your car well, you find out that it will serve you and it will not cost you more. And we shouldn't be on the aspect of, let's manage this for your vehicle. Let's say, for instance, that you are using a synthetic oil like Adex. As at last year, Adex was sold for 5 liters for 16,000 naira. And if you are using a V8, you are buying 2. And look at that. Now, you now look at it that the price of everything now is high. Oh, I cannot afford to buy Adex. Let me go and buy Wando or Mobile Oil and do my lube service. Believe you me, there's this thing we call, we have metals. We call it, these metals are always in the vehicle. You know, once we have, I used to talk, we have specification of oils based on the strength. Based on the strength of that oil. If you are using like 5W30 for your engine, believe you me, everything in that engine has been designed for 5W30. The constant, the viscosity of that oil. The manufacturers have done everything in that car to fit the viscosity of that oil. Now you're using 5W30 because you don't have money. You're not going to use 0W50. Now 0W50, the texture of that oil has reduced. So the viscosity at the synthetic of that oil has reduced. In that case, the lubricants that you want to work on, you find out that your vehicle will start working on iron to iron. It's just like our palm oil. Once in rainy season now, the palm oil will be so thick that you just need little to put inside your pan. It will melt and you fry. Now let's say 5W30 is a thick oil. Let's give that a standard. It's a thick oil. It has not been bleached. Now because you cannot afford it, you're not going to buy a lesser one because of the price. Then you are buying something lighter than the constant of what you are using. In that case, that engine will not serve you what you want. At the point that this is what we call iron grinding iron. When iron grinding iron, you find out that you have a knocking sound on your car. And this knocking sound is not something that is difficult to do. Do you understand? In that case, you need to bring down the engine and do complete lube service, complete lube overhauling, and check where the problem is. But when you use the right amount of oil, because an engine, what you need is your lubricant, a right lubricant. And in terms of your radiator, I advise you don't put water in your radiator. Get a good coolant. Get a good coolant because it's called it has this anti-rusting stuff in it. Get a good coolant. Don't use water. Get the right oil specification. Then even in terms of changing your plugs, check the right kind of plugs you are using. We have some people that you don't, because of money, you go for a lesser brand of your plugs. We have a lot of spark plugs out there, but get the one that has the capacity of your engine. Everything will work smoothly. It's normal for your car to break down when it has worked to a certain level. But what you will, the expense you will incur will not be as high as when you are using the wrong thing, that you now need to, it will now break down, that you will not looking for high amount, huge fund to fix it. It is not professionally advised, because we have something that ingredients in these things that helps for anti-rusting, and two, this coolant helps when it comes to overheating. It makes your engine don't go overheating ASAP, even when you see it on your dashboard. Because I used to advise driver that make your dashboard your best friend. Even when you have a temperature rising, with a good coolant, you get alert on time, and even before it gets to the level of your vehicle, the engine being packed up on overheating, you find out that coolant will make it will give, as in, it will not make that overheating come up ASAP. That dryness will not come up because it bubbles. It depends on where the overheating is coming from. Is it through fan? Is it through breaking of hose whereby you don't have coolant inside your vehicle? There's so many things that leads to overheating in vehicles. Sure, you understand? But let's say, for instance, that the overheating is coming as a result of your fan not blowing. When your fan not blowing, you know it's not cooling your engine. But you know that your coolant can help you to a level. But when you have water will just dry off because it evaporates every 3 months. Advisable. It depends, and times it depends on the kilometer at which the vehicle works. Like some people that don't really go far know that I always advise for 3 months. 3 months you do your loop service. Then you make sure that anybody that is doing loop service for you will always do tune up for you. Tune up keep you ahead of the next service. Then you know what is wrong with your car. And one thing I always advise clients to is just that any strange noise you have in your car, please communicate. Don't manage. Oh, let me still manage this vehicle. I think it can still serve me. You end up spoiling other things. The moment you feel something is wrong with that vehicle, please take it to your technician to check it for you. It might be a very little thing. You fix it, because that little thing can cause a big damage to that vehicle if it's not attended to on time. I got scholarship from Automedics, where I learned auto diagnostics. I got it from a client anyway, which I went for the program on auto diagnostics. Then the program was for 6 months in Automedics, where I was given scholarship, and it was really fun because it enlightened me more. I even met people in diaspora. I met people that are already in the industry, that what they just want is just get that little knowledge of that diagnostic stuff like that. I was able to meet people. I think even I met students from reputable institutions that even me then, I wouldn't be able to meet them, like to meet up with them one-on-one. So I met people with like minds, people in industry, and I learned more in Automedics. So Automedics too was also a good platform for me, because when I want to talk about my success story today, I have to still talk about Automedics, because going there with that scholarship was really interesting. It really exposed me. I was being taught even the business aspect of this job. I learned more from Automedics, and Automedics make me understand that in this line of business, you should know everything, and you should be consistent, and teamwork is the key to this business. You don't need to be selfish in the industry. The challenges I faced in this vehicle, in this field, is just that some jobs give you sleepless nights. We've done a job here whereby they brought, I think it's LR2, we want to fix the engine. We've discovered what happened to the car, which is overheating. So we told the person, when we brought out the engine to do overhauling, there's so many things we need to fix in that car, in the engine. So we realized that in that engine, even when we want to, when we are done with the overhauling, we've installed the engine. The engine didn't give us what we wanted. We dropped it down more than 5 times. Believe you me, do you know it's just a sensor that was bad that made us drop that engine, and we dropped the engine 5 times. I went to my heart sleepless night back to back, reading, asking questions. See, it's, shall I say, it's two-way things. In terms of, it depends. Like me, I have 5 uniforms that I use 1 per day. 5 uniforms I use 1 per day, because even when you see it will be messy, we use line boards. So we always advise. That's why if you see this floor down, these are oils. So, you know, the way I want to structure it is like, I want to make it all ties. When you make it all ties, you're going to get a ties that is not going to be a slippery one. Everywhere filled with AC, because you need air. Rather than we staying under the sun. I stayed under the sun for 7 years. Under the sun. I look so dark, as in, the second version of myself, under the sun. So I want to do it in such a way that you don't need to go through that stress to make it work. making it all ties, have a line board, right tools for the right job. I want to do loop service. I need to get a very good container that can take down my oil. Then look at the area at which you can put that particular thing to get the oil and all that. Then we need a glove, like protective guards. So when you are covered, your hand is being covered, you have your goggle on your face, especially when I have issue with my eyes at a point where I have a lot of stone inside my eyes, you know, sand under the vehicle. I have my goggle in my bag. I use it more often now. You understand? So I have a time where I have to check my eyes. I have a lot of stone, sand in my eyes that even at times at night, when I get them, I need to put my face inside the water for some period just to make so that I can be able to sleep. Do you understand? So for Ishe Dotini, I know, but we can make it more neat. If I go outside, you will never know I'm a mechanic unless you see me working. Once I am done with my job, we have a restroom here. You bathe. You off, you undress, you bathe, you look good. The job shouldn't, like there is a saying that Mr. Ibrahim used to tell us in Automotive, said, you don't look that job. You need to look good and let people see that good in you. You don't look that job. You know, people out there, you see them dress anyhow, you're like, God, even inside the car, you see them smelling and all that. But the truth is, it is you. It is individual thing. In this job, it's dirty, I know, but we can make it look more good by using protective guards, using the rigid protective guards. We have line boards here that we use. You stay on the line board. The line board has tires under it, so you lie on it. You just move a little. You put your leg down. You move it. The line board take you to any direction under the car, and all that. And the floor should be tidy. With that, you will be clean. Once you are done, we have water. You wash your hand, we have soap. We even have a place whereby we have fuel, whereby you use the fuel to wash your hand, then you use soap, then you bathe, then you change up, and you look good and you go home. I can't count because I've worked on more than 50 cars. More than 50 cars. different brand. I've worked on Corolla, I've worked on Sienna, I've worked on Mercedes, I've worked on Land Rovers. This job is beyond loose and tight. Okay, let me just take a car, it's beyond loose and tight. That's why I said you cannot say you just want to be on one particular thing. This is an electric vehicle. You need to know more. It's beyond loose and tight. There was a time somebody brought a car here. He worked on the servo. He took it to another shop to work on the servo and the brake master. It's a new Tokumbo car. It's Mercedes. So when the man said he was there when they brought the parts. So the part was installed and the previous ones was put in the boot. Do you believe that the car didn't accelerate? It can't even match the brake. The brake did not work. He almost arrested the mechanic. That the man has duped him. That what happened and all that. So the guy now remembered that in this workshop we have diagnostic tools. He now told the man that let's come to this place and diagnose this car. Let's see. When they towed the car down to this place. So I just took the diagnosing machine. I programmed the car for more than an hour. After programming the car, that is when the brain box knew that servo and the brake master that has removed has been installed back. So I had to program the car. After doing that programming, everything worked out as SAP. And there are so many things that has been done in that car that the brain box did not sense it. And do you know why that car is like that? Every sensor in that car is still active. Everything is still active. So the brain box has never been put in relearn mode. So I now use the diagnosing machine to put the brain box on relearn mode, make him know that this thing has been removed and has been replaced back. So after all this programming and all that, the man I said, sir, take your car, it's working. The man said, what did you do? I said, sir, I just drive this car. The man drive and I was like, madam, you performed. After paying his bill, he had to buy me a time. Do you understand? So that's why I said this job is beyond loose and tight. At times, you don't even need to lose anything from that vehicle. All you need to do is just to program that car, and the vehicle works. The way the government needs to help us in the sector, especially with females. We have, let me say, is dominated by male. So we have very low. I could recall there was a time I was actually looking for a job. Because of being a female gender, they were just making mockery of me. I went to Mikano. Mikano is just nearby. I went to Mikano in search for a job then. They were just laughing. They just took my hand. What can you do? They started making jest of me. I felt pain in the heart. I cried. I told the workshop manager there then, I said, see, I don't believe on talking. I believe on giving me tools and let me work. But because I was a female, they are looking at me that I cannot do anything. So the government should help us females. You know, we need organization that can believe in us, that can believe in what we can do. Then the government should help us. It's not until you have connection before you can become who you are. Connection is killing us. Once you don't have links, nobody will help you. Even when you go to, I could recall when I went to a Lizard Day for the first time, I wasn't allowed in because you know the first thing they asked me, do you know anybody in here? Do you have anybody here? I said no. Did anybody refer you? I said no, and I was not allowed to come in because of reference. We don't need connection before we can actually achieve our goals. The government should help us create more industry for us to be able to fit in and so that our voice will be heard. We need tools, we need fun. They should create more acquisition centers for us. They should create more, I think in the US, they have a lot of parastatals where they can help young people grow. Even as a young businessman or businesswoman, they will invest in you and even give you that little trust and establish you. When they see that little talent, they can help you, and if you become successful. I was actually seeing a program on a fashion show competition that was done in UK recently. I was really moved by what these talents, what these people can do. They are big. Some of them are just small brown that they don't even know them. They work in their cubicle, and within their community, they know them as a fashionista, a tailor, and all that. But within the global, they didn't know them. But they created an avenue for them where they brought out a competition for, I think, $50 for anybody that won. Come and see talents. They were really sewing with different skills and all that, and somebody won. Look at that person that won on that ground now. With that $50, the person will be able to bring, when they were interviewing that lady, said, see, with this, my brand can speak. So we have so many talents that they just need fund. They need to be discovered. Some people just need like maybe 1,000 naira to be successful. So government needs to invest in our talent and make our education system worthwhile. Wow. I'm Onyinye Automobile.